Greetings and salutations, fine people. I'm Patti Alvarez. Welcome to The Good Soul, a show where we'll have supercharged chats with everyday humans from all walks of life and unpack what in their story will inspire us all. We'll extract the untapped wisdom, distill it, and serve it up to you in all the right ways that will engage, enlighten, and most of all, inspire growth within your soul. I think people are awesome. So join me on this journey through the hearts and minds of ordinary people to uncover the good soul within you. This is The Good Soul. Welcome everybody to The Good Soul. We are on episode 76 and the name of the episode is Reinventing Ourselves. And I am here with my dear friend, Mr. Austin Quick. Welcome, Austin.
Thanks, Patti. One, I just got to say thank you for having me on. Super excited for the conversation. I've been following along and always grateful for every space that you create for us, from the yoga studio to this podcast room. So
thank you. I didn't realize I was going to get such flattery right out the chute. I needed that. So thank you. That's
You're
really
welcome.
Cool. I was telling the guys I have a really bad toothache, which will pass hopefully by 3:00 today when I leave the dentist. But
yes.
Anyway, thank you. That's very sweet of you. So Austin's story really was kind of inspiring to me and extremely interesting to me. Austin was working as an engineer for a NASCAR team.
Yep.
And pivoted into the luxury real estate business is what I would say.
Yep.
But before we get way into that, tell me a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up and whatnot.
So childhood, come from a real estate family. So that's where the idea came from. I was either in the garage or at the office. My dad was mechanic. He did racing himself. So we were either racing on the weekends with my dad. And then I was either at the office. My mom, aunt, and my grandma all ran an office together in Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff, Sedona. Kind of grew up in both of those areas. Beautiful area of the country. And then kind of was just always around real estate. We had chores. We'd always go and do clean rentals. That was always a big one. Go and help with open houses, do the signs, and then just answering phones as I got older, taking in the rent checks, helping out with listing material. So kind of was just always around as a good way to make money, and then was always just interested because it provided us a good life as well, right? Growing up, very grateful for that.
Sure.
And then my stepdad was a general contractor. He built luxury homes. So kind of was just always around that. But that never really interested me as much as racing did, because racing was just super fun.
It's very glamorous. It's very glamorous.
Yeah, and
very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And for women, it's like NASCAR. It's like an aphrodisiac, you know.
God,
it's like,
cool,
the guys are badass.
The Days of Thunder, right? That was what kind of got me going. I actually wanted to be a bull rider.
Right,
I remember
Tom Cruise right up the road, right?
Tom Cruise. Yeah, they shot parts of Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
That's
and what Talladega Nights up there too.
Yeah. Parts.
Yeah.
Mooresville.
Yep. So, but yeah, so I wanted to pursue that because driving was way more fun than answering the phone at the office.
Yeah. Okay, so let me do the math. Dad, it was into racing. Stepdad, contractor. Mom, aunts, etc. Real estates. Did your family manage property? Were they brokers? Did they own properties, or all of the above?
All the above.
Okay.
My grandma was the broker, and then my aunt was the assistant broker. And then my mom was just the realtor. And then she kind of went off on her own and started getting the properties and building with my stepdad. That's kind of how they had a marriage.
And that's how they built their little empire.
Yeah, I remember every year of my life, every 3 years they would do, because if you know real estate, every 2 years you have to pay property gains taxes.
Right, sure, of course.
So we'd live in the house for 2 years. Then the third year they would try to sell it, and we would... In that third year, they would build a new property and we'd move over there. So like all my life, I've just been moving, which isn't a big deal to me, but yeah. So, correct. Right. It is a big deal. That's true. Right. Matter of perspective. Yeah.
And my sister has a friend, her father is a very successful, like a Randy Marion in New Jersey. And I always remember her saying, Yeah, we had to move. Like my father we were always living in like a fixer-upper of sorts. Now, of course, her father lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion on the Navesink River in New Jersey, and they're very admirable people. What I find interesting too is like what my father did, and I think what a lot of people do is take on real estate as a side hustle. So like my father was in the tire business and started reinvesting his money into real estate, which has been carried on, and now he's gone, and my sisters and I have inherited what he's amassed, which is really it's been pretty nice. And I think, as he used to say, you make money sleeping.
Yeah.
Now it's not. It doesn't. You don't sleep your way to get there. Of course, I don't mean that like sleeping that way. I mean, you don't. It's a lot of work to attain something like that.
Yeah.
But
and a long time, right? It takes just some time as well. So
fast, but when he passed, one of my favorite lines. He was in ICU, and he was so rational and calm, and he had all his wits about him, and there was no question he was dying. He had said, I had said to him, "Dad, what any regrets, like anything?" And he said, "I wish I stopped and smelt the roses," because he worked too much.
Yeah.
He worked too hard. So that's something I'm trying not to do too much of, is I'm trying to integrate the two. So I'm sorry.
No,
Back to you. Back to you. We have about 3 minutes left in the segment. So
okay, I would say that's I had my grandma. She kind of worked till the end too, but I think she enjoyed real estate so much, like going on the wellness thing, like community. I think that's why she did it for so long, because her work ended up being her community. And with real estate, I mean, that's your main focus, right? That's your job, is to just help the community.
Yeah.
Either and or transfer their assets, or help them with whatever life choice they got. So I think that's really gave her a good purpose and kept her working for a long time. But she did that too. I went on a trip with her, and she had that same. She was like, "Man, I wish I would have taken more trips younger and smelled the roses too." So I hear you. I think we definitely bonded over that.
But it's good work, I have to say. Like my father used to say, I own a tire business. Nobody wants to spend money on their car, because it's like, unless you're like a muscle guy who likes buying new tires and rims. But other than that, like, damn, I need to buy new tires.
Yep.
But when people come into my old business, which was clothing and gifts, or here, they're happy to be here. And I love the joy I get to create for people. And what I learned is when I watched my sister deal with our tenants, because my sister Kelly really manages all of our properties and so forth, what a great ambassador she is to those people. And she is facilitating their homes and making, giving them a sense of security. And it's always nice to like your landlord or the people you do business with, who you rely on for your basic needs. So I'm assuming your grandmother played that role in developing community and so forth.
Yeah. And she was known for notoriously being late, because she just took so much time with each person. Like she would be like just late for everything, because she just would.
Where were you? I had to help her.
Yep. And she used to be a psychologist for kids, and then she got into real estate because, one, she liked working with people, and then also wanted to leave something for everybody and build something, and which she did. And
when did she die?
She died last on Thanksgiving last year.
Wow.
I know, very.
Yeah, it's pretty raw.
Yep.
Wow.
So
how old was she?
She was 87.
Wow.
Yeah.
A life well lived, I'll assume.
Very, very
Husband?
well lived. Yeah.
Until when?
She was married twice, and then she got divorced. Well, actually, so married once. That was with my grandpa, and then they got divorced, and she got remarried, but he died. I don't know from what. Okay. And she didn't want to get remarried, but she had a partner.
Okay.
And his name was Bob.
I love it.
Yep. And he was great. He was like the ultimate handyman, and he was a very integral part of my
Was he younger than her?
I don't know. That's a good question. He might have been. I don't know. I think they were close.
Usually those Spitfire type aggressive women, when they get older, they end up taking up with younger men to keep them. So
that might be. So.
Yes. All right, guys. This is a great note to end on. So we'll see you for the second segment here. We're going to get a little bit more into NASCAR and what brought Austin into the real estate world. So we'll see you in a few on The Good Soul. This segment of The Good Soul is brought to you by Aaron Fisnick, certified luxury home specialist with Ivester Jackson, Christie's International Real Estate. Erin serves all levels of the greater Lake Norman region real estate market, and whether buying or selling, she is very much the lady who will deliver like no other. Many of us at Good Soul are also really happy clients. Erin can be reached at 704-728-5657 or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. Thank you, Erin Fisnick, and thank you guys for tuning in and supporting the Good Soul. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Good Soul. I'm Patti, and this is Austin Quick, and we are talking about reinventing ourselves. Both of us have shared similar career paths and then major turns and continuing on to new places. So Austin grew up in Arizona in a real estate family. What did your father do with regards to racing?
He used to race himself. It was kind of something that him and his grandpa used to do, or him and his dad, I'm sorry, my grandpa and him. They did. He grew up in New York, upstate New York, and they would go to Watkins Glen, and he kind of just fell in love with it from there.
Okay.
And then
any kind of car, like
yeah, any
Ford
kind of any kind of car. He started his own business when I was born. It was a mechanic shop, and he built his own formula car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he raced that. And it was called the SCCA Series, Sports Car Club of America. And he would race that all over the Southwest. And he was very successful. I think he ended up winning 13 or 12 championships.
Wow. Were you alive at this? Were you alive at this point?
Yes.
Do you
There's a lot of
these
pictures
races?
of me. Yeah, he built me a little pedal car, like custom little pedal car that I had, and I would just run around the pits.
His last name was Quick?
Yep. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's a great name.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. My father would sponsor, he sponsored a car. I can't remember. I wish my sister was here because she could tell me the name of the driver. I do have a picture of myself in Mario Andretti's car. We were at a race once. And when I was in third grade, he bought me, not a race car, but he bought me a go-kart. One of the tire companies. It was called the Bandag Bandit. I'll never forget it. It looked like a little tractor trailer. I have to show you a picture of that. It was really, really cool. So
you have to send me that after
now
this,
I'm seeing like the similarities between you and I that I don't know that I picked up on all of this stuff. And I think part of what creates that seed that creates the pivot, the ability to pivot, is the diversity that you were exposed to growing up. Correct. So you take a career. I have a yoga studio, but then I have a podcast and I write a blog and I want, you have all these different things that you kind of parlay it into. So it seems like your parents are doing that. So.
Yeah, very entrepreneurial parents, right? Like dad owned his own shop and mom did her own thing and had to,
Yeah.
And they taught me I remember I'd go with my dad. He would pay me $20 a day to go and wash cars. And I remember doing that. It was like, I don't remember, I was like maybe 7 or 8. And he was like, you can come with me to the shop and you can wash all the cars. You can make $20 a day doing it.
Right.
And he was like, then you can go and, he taught me how to create I made signs and did all that sort of stuff. But that taught me at a very young age of like the whole marketing and like what you got to do and just consistency and discipline and all that
So you would wash the cars at the shop or you would solicit people who were driving by like car wash?
Both. Yep. Whatever he had done. And then I would had a sign up on the thing. And then people would come down and be like, it wasn't a lot. It was mostly probably his friends or whatever at the time when I look back on it. But so they supported it, Yeah.
So. And that is invaluable, those lessons. That's the Austin that I see on the reels on social media now, you walking through these homes. It's all stems from those moments. Yep. So, all right. So let's talk about how you got into NASCAR and you ended up here in North Carolina.
Okay. So Arizona, college, then
college?
In Arizona. I went to NAU and UTI.
Okay.
Got a technical degree and a mechanical engineering degree. And then after that, my dad retired, moved to Kentucky. I moved with him for a year, helped him build his house. And then I looked for a career and landed in Pennsylvania with a small company. I had known them from when we raced so I did dirt track, and that's where I really made a living just racing myself. So moved to Pennsylvania, started with them. I mean, and it was a small business. I did everything from the sales to helping with the marketing, videos.
Okay. That's right. Videos. You did videos for me.
Yep. Did all those.
I forgot that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep. And then helped with his YouTube channel there. And then took on a section and built a section of department there with shocks. And that's where I developed a lot of skills there that led me to down here.
Okay, hang on one sec. So that company there, was that a race team or
that was a manufacturer? So they built everything other than the engine.
Okay.
So I dealt with, my day-to-day was sales, managing that shocks department, and then dealing with all the purchasing.
So what's the difference between it's not Ford, it's not Chevy,
so it was sprint car racing.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So it's a different, completely different open wheel. It's like Jeff Gordon started there.
Like I see in the Formula races, are those?
Yep, open
cars?
wheel. That's just open wheel. Like doesn't have fenders, right?
Okay.
So, so that's where I really learned a lot of my skills and credit a lot of my growth and who I am today was that stint of 10 years there, because started there. I literally moved in the back of my car all the way up there, lived on the floor for like a year or two in his basement and another coworker's basement, and just established my name and grew skills. And then through that, we ended up, that's the premier manufacturer now. They sponsor everything and they sell the most cars, and
wow, the
growth that we had there was insane. But through that, Christopher Bell is a good one of my friends. He's kind of the face of NASCAR. And then Larson, just a lot of dirt racers are in NASCAR. And then you got the whole community outside of that. Mm-hmm. There's a track over here called Millbridge, and they weren't really racing the 600s on Wednesdays, and they've always wanted to. And it was like, maybe it was after COVID, I believe 2020 or 2021. They finally decided to go all in. They promoted a big race. We came down and helped them put on the big race. And from there, people started buying cars from us. I developed some relationships with some people down here. Mm-hmm. And I had done some investing with properties in Pennsylvania while I was up there doing that job. But it was kind of a timing thing. I had developed a really good relationship with, his name's DJ Vanderlei, and I was on vacation, and I had just my Airbnb for a year, and the city, while I was on vacation, shut down my Airbnb because they didn't want Airbnbs where I was.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And I was kind of at the point where I was looking for more growth and something new to do. And he had texted me on a joke like, hey, we have a position down here. Would you be interested? And it was like the timing of things in life sometimes just is wild. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
you look up.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I kind of gave up on the NASCAR dream. Honestly, I was pretty happy with where I was at. I was like, who knows, and that just kind of came out of the blue. And one thing led to the next, and was able to get the job down here, move down here, able to sell everything up there, liquidate it really quickly, and then, moved down here and started at Stewart Haas Racing. First year was kind of a struggle there.
Why is that?
It was mostly just the infrastructure, and I kind of came in halfway through the season too. So,
what did you get hired to do?
So I got hired down there to do all the engineering for the shocks.
Okay.
So handled pretty much how the car,
And everybody's got to be in a groove with that stuff. So that's what he's saying. Come halfway through.
Yep.
Just stepping into somebody else.
Yep. Had no idea. It took me like 10, 12 races to just understand what the driver wanted.
Okay.
And then you're from there. You're kind of, just you don't even have a base. You're just picking up the pieces. So, and the shock engineer, he works closely with the crew chief and the race engineer and the driver on you're pretty much the guy who makes the car go faster. So
explain, I generally know what shocks are, but explain to the listeners what exactly the shocks do.
So shocks, a go-kart doesn't have any shocks, right? And when you go over the road,
yeah,
the shocks are the thing. Correct. Yep. And then, so the shocks on your day-to-day car, they're the ones that provide your ride comfort.
So they're connected to the wheel.
To the wheel, yep. And that's
to the
connected to the chassis, yep.
Chassis, yeah.
Yep. And then that just controls, it absorbs shock. That's
I remember
much
growing
basically.
up, my dad had a chair in the shop, Pro Shock. I can't remember the name of the brand it was.
Yeah.
And it was a stool. It was a promotional item.
Nice.
It looked like a shock. The stool was on a shock. How did you decide that would be your specialty in terms of auto
It's
engineering?
very interesting work, to be honest. Because the data that you get from that, and then you're working with feel, and it's so interesting because you really connect as a driver. When I drove, that's the one thing I used to love to do was like I would drive and then I would go back to the shop and I would make it's literally like 2000s, 3000s, and it would change the whole car.
Yeah.
And it would help you through a situation. But it's just it's super intriguing because you just deal with the feel, you deal with the confidence, you deal with you're pretty much the security blanket.
The weight of the driver, is it? The weight of the car?
The weight of the car, the banking, the conditions.
Do you start from scratch and make that shock, or do you get shocks and then tweak what from a manufacturer?
Yeah, so Penske's the big one for NASCAR, but in the dirt world, it was kind of more outlaw. You can design and kind of do a lot there.
Construct your own.
Yep.
So cool.
So that was super. It was just fun. It was just you could be creative, and
what
then you had to
do?
sell it.
You take the shock, and do you work right off of the car, or?
Yeah, so they have dynos now. So the dyno will give you a graft, and it'll give you data points.
Okay.
And then from that graft and data points, you got to translate that back to real life, right? So that's where you kind of end up developing 50 pounds on this line ends up to being you feel this on corner entry or corner exit.
You see the smoke coming out of my ears? We have to take a break because I have to compute all of this. No. Austin, we got to wrap up this segment, but we'll continue on the next segment. Guys, thanks for being here on The Good Soul. Want a little bit more rainbows and unicorns in your life? Start your day with Good Soul Daily. Every morning, you'll find me in your inbox where I share a quick story, lesson, or quote to spark joy and inspiration. Come join our hundreds of daily readers and let's step into our new day together with my lighthearted, Pollyannic approach. I would be honored if you'd allow me into your heart and head where you are sure to be delighted and inspired. Text me over your email address to 704-618-7993 for your daily dose of happiness and reassurance that life is pretty darn awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to The Good Soul. We're on episode 76. I can't believe it. It's so exciting. I know. Exciting. I really can't believe it. It's wow.
Consistency.
Austin, thank you so much for being here. Yes, consistency. That's right. Because there's some days it's not easier than other days. That's for sure. But we get up and we...
And the support, right? It's cool. Yeah. I'm sure that you can see that after all these too. Just more and more, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the guys at the station and, of course, my husband, which we didn't realize going into this that he would play such a big role.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's great to have him. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do what you need, sweetie.
Oh, I love you. You're very cute and sweet. Okay, so shocks. Did you start at Stuart Ross, is it?
Stuart Haas.
Stuart Haas. Did you start and finish doing the same job generally?
Yes. That was the main role. And then I would travel on the road and I would help out with tires on the weekend as far as just getting them ready. And then shocks at the track. So
okay. So can you tell us any drivers that we would know that you've worked with? Do you mind? I don't know. Me asking you that.
Yeah. So I've worked with Eric Amarola, Cole Custer, and Riley Herbst were our two big ones that we worked with daily. Wow. Chase Briscoe, Harvick.
Harvick, that's where we got our golf cart.
Who else in there? And then
that's names right there.
I'm sure you've.
Yeah.
Race car guys know those names. We know. I'm not even a race car guy.
Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
Trying to think who else was in there. We had a lot of we had a third car for a while that we would just it was called the All-Star car, and we would just throw people in it. So there was a couple different people who would come in there.
So I know people whose husbands work for NASCAR, I should say, and Anne Marie is a good example.
Yep.
And he was on the road all the time, and I think he just made the transition probably a year or two ago to not having to be on the road anymore, which is
Ken.
Yeah, Ken,
Yep.
which is really cool. He's such a cool guy. I love her husband.
He was always great to see at the shop every week.
Yeah,
or on the road, it'd be like, hey,
yeah. I know. I always say he's a man's man. You know?
Yes, he is.
He's a man's man. He's a good man. He's the kind of guy you want in your corner, that's
Yep.
for sure. But we also sponsor their son, Kenny. Now you would know the name
at
of it.
Millbridge, right?
At Millbridge,
Yep.
yeah. He's like really up there. Like he's doing really well. I think that kid is going places.
Did you see the good soul sign going around?
See the good soul.
Yep.
And this is the most embarrassing thing. And I'm not a phony. Like I cannot believe we haven't been to one of his races yet. It's like really unthinkable.
That's good.
It's a good family thing to do.
We watch the clips.
We watch the clips
I know
and
it.
everything, but,
And
Yep.
you know.
I will say, and Anne Marie, I know she watches so regular. She's not pushy enough with me sometimes because I always say after 4 o'clock I turn into a pumpkin. It's like really hard to get me to do anything other than cuddle with my husband and dogs.
So yeah, you do the expectation. It is a late night, so
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
We almost went like a couple weeks ago when my sister was in town, but I feel like it's a betrayal. Like, Anne Marie, I love you, and I'm so sorry. It's like, God. Anyway,
You know we do.
all right. So you're working at NASCAR.
yeah.
Are you like kind of playing around at all in real estate at this point, or no?
At this point, so when I was in Pennsylvania, what really got me thinking about making the career switch was my grandma offered me to move back and run the office. And I was very serious about that for about 6 months. And then I couldn't come to terms of letting go. I still felt like I had stuff to accomplish and what I wanted to do dreams-wise racing.
You were still on the hero's journey.
Correct. Yep. Still wanting to do. I had still a lot of vision for it and growth and what I wanted to do. So I had to cut it off and stayed there, and then I'm glad I did because it led me here.
How did your grandmother take that? Was she cool with it?
She was cool with it, but she's just so great. She was like, okay, sounds good. But after that, that's what she kept just every time I'd see her, she'd be like, you ready to be a real estate mogul yet? You ready to get into real estate?
What's the nationality? And I'm not stereotyping at all. I love examining cultural. I'm Italian, and I always say that's such like an Italian thing to do. My mother, half Italian, half Irish. So what was the nationality? What's your grandmother's nationality?
Norwegian.
Norwegian.
Yeah,
okay.
from Minnesota.
So I can't be like that's so Norwegian. No, I don't really know any Norwegian people.
But I would say maybe the Minnesota roots, working on the farm.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, just that hard nosed, and she was very bold. Like, look at you. You remind me a lot of just like women she was like back in the day, like one of those first women that like took on owning a business.
Yeah. Well, I think also it's not necessarily culture, but also generation.
Yep.
I mean, they came to this country. Was she second generation? Were her
second
parents?
generation. Her grandparents came over.
Okay.
So, yep. Second.
So your grandmother and my father were about the same age. You're 40. Are you 40 yet?
35.
35. Okay. Yeah. So my father and your grandmother were about the same age, and it's same thing. And I always say, like, especially the Italian side, like they were second class citizens. I mean, my mother used to say when my grandfather got to this country, he had to work like triple what the average person had to do to get any sort of social recognition. And
yep.
She said they had the biggest house on the block, and they always had dinner. They always had food on the table because my grandfather worked so hard.
Yes.
But I think that's where we get it from more than anything. Like
100%.
Manny's father.
Transfers down, right? Trickles down.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It really does.
And they put it in. They come, from over. They don't know nothing. They
They don't know the
Hustle.
language. My grandparents. I mean, my father was third generation, so his grandparents came from Ireland. But for my mother's sake, my mother used to.
Cool.
I know it is really cool. But my mother used to get like embarrassed, like, "Mom, speak English," like all that stuff. And then the older she got, like, she loved, she honored so much the Italian culture, and little things like canned food was a luxury. when she was a kid. Like having to eat from the garden was like what the poor people did.
That's
you know,
so
like
wild.
canned food is.
Now it's
Yeah.
switched.
Right, with the
Interesting.
women and the men.
Isn't that well?
Yeah.
Maya Angelou also says that in the book where the cage bird sings that she I think, and Oprah brings it up at one point that it was embarrassing that they ate from their garden, that they wanted to eat from the can, which I thought was
Interesting.
really interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now we
Yeah.
all want everything
Yeah.
farm to table. But you know, I love that, Austin, and I'm feeling also how you said you're feeling elements of your grandmother from me. I'm feeling elements of my father from you. Like even the way you're dressed and the way you sit
you.
and the way you carry yourself is very similar to Dan the man. So don't you
Dan.
agree? Don't you agree? Like Austin,
That was
like
awesome.
my dad would have really dug you. That's my point. So, okay. So how did you decide to make this change from NASCAR to real estate?
So SHR had a split off. We had so after that year 1, year 2, and year 3 were very successful. We ended up winning a championship the second year. And then the third year we won the regular season championship. So I was able to, in that time, kind of accomplish everything. Right.
Okay.
So the only thing after that was like, okay, can I go? This was the Xfinity series. So which is the kind of the college series
Quick, it's quick.
for NASCAR. Yep. So SHR was so it's Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, and Gene Haas owns the F1 team, and Tony Stewart's just infamous because he's one of the all-time greats compared to had that AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, like can drive anything. So Tony Stewart, we lost Harvick, we lost a lot of big drivers in 24. And I think that maybe had a part to do with it. But also, ultimately, I just think Tony was just kind of ready to do something else. So they had at the beginning, like 2 months in, they announced they were going to be shutting the race team down.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that explains a lot.
Yep. So, you know, you hear that and you're like, okay, well, now I got to go and, you know, you start having the conversations and start having the thoughts of like, okay, what am I going to do next year? What is that very jump start early? And I was like, I started working around, could have gone to a couple cup teams, started having conversations there. It just didn't feel right. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to like keep working this hard, because in that meantime, while I came down here, I met my now wife,
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
And
didn't even
with
get
me
into
being
yet.
on the road, she had to deal with it just one season. But that whole season, I just remember every time that I would leave, it was like, this just doesn't feel the same to me anymore.
Yeah.
Because now I have something to come home to, something to build.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, man, I want to be able to be at home. And then also I was like I loved racing, but I've always wanted to build something for myself. And then you start thinking about like, you got your kids coming, you want to give them something, build something for them, or be an example. Not that, you know, being in NASCAR isn't, but I've seen the people who have been in NASCAR and or racing for a long time. Not that it's a family sport, but you are gone and you're not with your family unless your family is
Comes
also in the
with you,
sport.
yeah.
Yep. And that's a very rarity thing.
Yeah.
And
Well, is it challenging too? Like a pilot, or there's women and drinking and
Yep.
partying, and it's not just the job itself. There's all these temptations and stuff surrounding. It's probably really hard to maintain a family. I hate to do this, but
Yep.
segment 3 is already over.
Oh my God.
I know. It was like, I looked at the clock
Yep.
and I'm like, is that counting
Okay.
up or down? I can't believe how quick it went. So segment 4, we have a lot to cover. So guys, don't go away. We'll be right back for segment 4 here on The Good Soul. Who isn't looking to get happy and healthy and empower themselves in an extraordinary fitness community? At Good Soul Hot Yoga, we offer life-changing yoga, strength training, cycling, and relaxing therapeutic classes that will make everything in your life feel better. For some power, balance, and peace of mind, we will deliver. Come experience our spa-like wonderland in the center of Mooresville. We will become your happy place. Welcome back, everybody, to The Good Soul. I'm Patty. I'm here with Austin Quick, and that break could have been a segment.
I know.
That's what's so hard. I know. It's like, and I'm like, wait, save it for the show. We have such good chats. Okay, so Stuart Haas dissolves, and how quickly does the transition take place? What does that look like?
So we wrote out the year. I had a contract, so wrote out the year. And
At this point, how long have you and Ashley been together?
we had been together for 8 months.
8 months. Okay, so
Yep.
let me just interject here. So, ladies, he's this single guy at the studio. We're all trying to get a read on you.
Yep, yep.
At one point, I'm like,
you know what? The
I have
studio when I moved
questions.
here was like I had to find a place with community, and this place carried me through that. By the way,
Yay,
so
that makes
thank
me
you.
happy.
Yes,
That's
Put
so
your
great.
roots down.
Well, we
For
were
sure.
like somebody,
sure.
Molly J and I are like, we gotta figure this guy out. Like, what's his deal? So I remember at the retreat at one point, I like interviewed you. I was like
Yep.
asking you all these questions. You're like, no, I'm not this. Yes, I'm that. No, I'm not this. It was funny.
Yep.
But we were
Yeah, the
so
retreat
happy
was so
when
good.
and we're like, why is he single? Like, when is he going to meet somebody? And thankfully, you
That's
met
what she
Ashley.
asked me too, and it was just like I came to it. I was like, I was so focused on like my career, and I felt so guilty dating someone just because I knew how much time and energy racing took, and I couldn't find anyone in the industry that was really aligned with
Yeah.
what I needed or
Danica
wanted.
Patrick wasn't available
No,
for you.
no, I know.
I love her.
Yes, she is great. So yeah, that's pretty much. And then when I found her, I was like, I'm ready at this point. Like whatever we got to do to make it work. So,
Yeah. Oh, she's an angel, and
She
she's
is.
got 2 kids or 3 kids.
3 kids.
3 kids.
So,
So,
we inherited 3, and we are expecting 1.
so
So
exciting.
Okay.
When is she due? By the way,
we are due January 22nd,
20.
and we're having a boy.
Oh,
I know,
that's right
exciting.
by the Manster's birthday.
Yeah.
You're having a
Oh,
boy.
yeah,
That
yeah.
went over my head.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so exciting.
You're the 28th.
It's the
28th.
28th.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Yep.
Every year. How many years? 59.
His year is it's literally his year
Okay.
matches the Super Bowl. His
That's
age.
wild.
Football free,
Okay,
man.
so
Nice, dude.
we're pressed for time here. So so do you say before you leave racing, I'm going to do real estate, or do you take a little time for you?
No, right during that last year, I started studying for the real estate test. I failed a couple times because I couldn't really put the energy into studying.
Mm-hmm.
I did the self pace.
Mhm. And I have to say, most people fail that test.
Yes, the North Carolina real estate license test is no joke.
Yeah.
And you have the pre-licensing, which is in 90 hours. And then you also have to do post-licensing, which is another 90 hours. So they really take it serious here.
Yeah. So you passed the 3rd time.
Passed
And you're a broker.
actually the second. I did it once, failed. So the 3rd time. Yes,
3rd
you are
time.
correct.
Okay, and you're a broker immediately in North Carolina too.
Correct, which is really wild.
Mm-hmm.
Also very cool. That kind of blew my mom's mind. I was like, no, I'm just a broker. Like
Yeah.
right away.
That's
She was,
cool.
Yeah.
New Jersey's different. We
But-
have to step up.
everywhere else
You
you're a
have to
real
hang your
estate agent.
license.
Yeah, you
Yep.
have my license and then
So
And it also works in stages. Like you're a broker, but you're first till you do post licensing, you're a provisional broker. So it's kind of the same like a real estate agent. And then
okay.
yeah, so you got that. And then after you do your post licensing, then you become a full broker.
is that time wise or achievement wise?
Achievement wise, you just got to
Okay.
do the education. So that all comes
Okay.
education. So
Okay.
you get the education done, and then you become full broker. And then after full broker, you can take if you want to be a broker in charge, which would be like your regular broker,
Mm-hmm.
one that runs an office. You got to do your education there, which isn't much. I think it's like 12 or 10 hours, and you have
Okay.
to consistently do that.
Yeah.
So, and then they have continuing education you got to do, which is good. Compared to, I know Arizona, I think they have to do it every like 2 years or something like that. So
Wow. And
yeah.
what about here? Is it?
But you have to do 10 hours every year of CE,
Okay.
which is continuing education.
Do you
So
get to pick the type of continuing?
it has to be approved, just approved
Okay.
continuing education by the North Carolina.
So it
Real
could be
Estate
like
Commission.
commercial driven, or it could be,
Correct.
I don't know, luxury home driven,
Yep.
or Section 8. Okay.
So
And is your real estate with an agency, or did you just
yeah,
start
so
on your own?
I first, right when I got out, right when I interviewed with a lot of different people, and I decided to go with Allen Tate, which is the biggest residential one.
Mhm.
Really liked what they had set up there, but as I spent a couple months there was too much volume of agents for me, and I kind of grew up in a small office, right? I needed like a quality sort of collaboration and all that. So I went back to the drawing board and was like, okay, let me go with a brokerage that has some good branding, good quality agents, people who are, kind of more in the office and kind of in line with what I want to go with. And I landed on Ivester Jackson,
Okay.
which has been
Out of Mooresville?
phenomenal. I'm at the Cornelius office.
Okay. You know
Yep.
that Erin, who's our show sponsor, Erin Fisnick with Ivester
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
She is with Ivester Jackson too. Did you guys talk? Have you spoken?
Yeah, no.
Oh, great.
I've spoken with her because she had an open house the other weekend.
Okay.
That I reached out about, but she had someone to cover it. So
Okay. Yeah,
yep.
she's so great.
Yes.
She's such a wonderful person.
Yes, and I had no idea, and I was like, man, there's like that was also like another. I was like, Aaron's doing something, and I was like, I see her at Pilates all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Both
so
people, the husband
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Dr. Mike,
Yep.
he's a pediatrician. He's done the show. So what fascinates me about you is you're already showing these really expensive homes. Like, how do you get into that niche so quickly?
That is all credit to the firm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the agents. And, also you kind of choose, I've always been a believer, you choose to, who you talk with and relationships and conversations
Who
and,
your surroundings are.
yep. So I just kind of like sought out those events and they're out there and you just start going and you start creating relationships and having conversations and
Sure.
yep. And you just go to those and before you know it, you end up creating, you kind of create your reality a little bit. So
Yeah. I love that. I
Yep.
love that. So setting high standards. Are
Correct.
any of your relationships from NASCAR kind of, I guess, like making their way into your real estate world?
yep. That's been the big challenge for me is obviously I've always been known as the engineer and racer, right? So it's been, this first year has been a lot of learning the way of the lands and also applying those same principles from engineering a good routine, creating good systems in place, and a lot of that, and then obviously switching my identity. So now people are starting to viewing me as like, oh, okay, you can actually help me with real estate now. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
You're not gonna. You could build me a race car too, but also let's go and try to find a house. So
Yeah.
and let me help you with your investment needs. So
Where do you think your strengths lie? Like, what makes you?
I would say just honest, authentic, good listener, very data driven. So pick up on trends and just trustworthiness. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like anything else. Like, when you're going to buy something, right? And we're in a service industry with real estate. So it's just providing a service, being able to sell like, hey, like I can help you. I'm not here just to make a commission. Like, want your best needs at hand.
Yeah.
I'll be your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Well-
I want the actual best for you at the end of the day. So
Yeah, and also like
if it makes sense, it makes sense, and you should go that way. And if you should get the $200,000 house and you're gonna be better off that way, you should go that way. It all depends on the needs. So
yeah. Well, what were we talking about when you got here? We were talking about my teeth,
yep,
and like it's like, did I really need all that? Like, and where the customer is left feeling like if you're selling them something that's not worthy of or not, it's not a proper fit. And it's important for you to understand that and know your customer.
correct.
And back to what we were saying, I think it was in the first or second segment about your grandmother and my sister, like what an honor it is to present people with the place that they're going to live, where they're going to have their babies and have their weddings and have their high points and their low points.
Yeah,
And this
or
is where,
divorce or there's all those things, or downsizing or upsizing. They need a new room for their baby, or exactly. Yeah. So it's all the same thing, right? You got to figure out that feeling and what they need, and so that transfers over from. There's a lot of similarity. Like everything I feel like is kind of has parallels in life, right? It's just a matter of the subject matter. So
sure. So what parallels do you see between your old career and your current career?
well, I'd say like, yeah, I think you learn how you got parallels as far as like, we're all human and we all have the same instinct and want community and, good relationships and prosperity and health and to be able to enjoy life, right? So digging in on those. And then also, I mean, there's the competition aspect of racing performance based, you got to show up and do your job. So you got that transfers over. And then, man, there's just a lot there. I mean, kind of everything, right? Instead of selling race cars, I'm just selling houses. So it's, it's the kind of the same thing.
Did you ever watch the show Selling Sunset?
I did.
That's a great show for you to watch.
Yes.
Well, they do some cool stuff at like their open houses. They have like Botox parties and all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's what
creating an event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting people in there. I mean, really, it's just creating an event and creating more of that relationship.
Yeah. Their office is right on Sunset Boulevard, and I like whenever I'm in Los Angeles, I have to drive by Oppenheimer and take a selfie in front of there. Yeah, I think they're great.
Yes.
I love what they do.
Yes.
Did you ever go to Monte Carlo, to the race in Monte Carlo?
No, that's a bucket list item.
Me too.
That is bucket. Well,
we should do that together.
Yes.
We'll make that like a couple's trip.
Cool.
Yes.
I've been to Monte Carlo, but I wasn't there during the Grand Prix.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know.
It's beautiful. I'll tell you, being in that city, it's all like set up like you just know it's there. I don't think they dismantle a lot of stuff.
No, part of its history. It's like going to Indianapolis.
It's part of the history, yeah.
Yeah.
I had one other question for you, but I guess I'm going to have to save it for another day because it's time.
Oh,
my
man.
God, I know it goes too fast, guys.
Good.
I know. It's been awesome.
I know we had a podcast, and this is great to get into each other, but these are just like, got to do more of just coming over and.
I know. We need to see more of each other. I agree. Well, you're going to be a busy man with the baby on the way. So, guys, thanks for being here. We will see you for episode 77. Oh, my God. Here at the Good Soul Austin. Thank you, sweetheart. You're the greatest. Love you, man.
Thank you, guys.